Welcome to Mexico for the MX Disc Golf Championship presented by Dynamic Discs. My name is Luke Humphries. Joining me today in the booth, Mr. Tall Paul Oman. We're in a beautiful place at a nice time of year for it.
Oh my gosh, it is absolutely just a place you want to be in the wintertime.
One of the biggest parks in Central America comes in at number 2. It's a gigantic park, multi-use facility, beautiful surroundings, and we've got a good card today, Paul.
Yes, we do. We got some familiar faces. Kevin Jones, our reigning champion. Luke, everybody knows him. Humphries, and Fredy Meza.
Best Mexican disc golfer goes to him at this point.
I love Fredy.
There's a lot of good community here that's growing, getting better, fighting to become that number 1. Here we are on a tough starting hole.
Oof. Yes, hole 1 was playing tough today.
Indeed. We got a hard crosswind, right to left headwind.
Yeah.
It's going to be a windy day, guys.
Some new OB on the course, too. I don't think there was anything new on hole 1 today, but just kept you on your toes.
And that's Raul Barcelo. That's your tournament director, one of the guys that really made disc golf in Mexico happen.
Yes, I think he did a great job with the intro songs. I don't think any one of us picked our intro songs, and he knocked it out of the park.
Yep. Kev, typically going roller in normal wind conditions, opts for the forehand.
Yeah.
Works well in right to left. That one just catches the guardian tree, kicks out into a pretty tricky spot. From there, it's basically just a par play.
Absolutely, from that distance. Here we go.
Yeah, he picked a good song for me.
Rock a little gray in the beard?
Yeah, I guess so. Don't look in the mirror that much, but it's definitely there.
Hey.
This thing gets ballooned up into the air. I was trying to get it turned over. That's a very understable disc at typical conditions. We're at 6,000 feet here.
You can see the dust right there. We got a good shot of it. The flags were going off. Great crowd. Everyone's so excited to be here.
Yeah, it's great feels. The entire disc golf community supports this event, shows up for this event. They're actually at a banquet right now having a little fun without us.
Oh my gosh, yes. Kevin's getting down.
DJing as we speak. You're going like Sidewinder?
Roadrunner.
Roadie?
Yeah. I haven't touched the Sidewinder much, but
okay.
Roadrunner, something to flip down here in the elevation.
For sure. 6,000 feet.
Yeah.
It's higher than Denver.
It's wild. After watching the distance comp this evening, I was thinking, wow, these guys have some flippy stuff. I need to get back in the boxes, find something that's going to fly a little different.
You need to try out a Shrike. For down here, a Shrike would murder.
I think you're right.
So Fredy's out of Texas now, but he is Mexican and he throws super far and clean.
He is so smooth. He hits the intended gap, I believe, and
it's
in a great spot.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to do. I'm just playing for a par here. Good forehand will leave me about 150 feet from the basket.
It's a specific spot you need to get to off the tee to attack this green, and none of us really
Fredy.
Fredy
was the only one that got to that spot.
Yes.
So Kev lining up the giant backhand spike hyzer here, but even this is just a position play.
Totally. He's looking for some wind help as well to get something, but
gets it similar distance to me, about 150 feet away.
Yep. Much more open down towards the end of the fairway. I'm trying to play a little elevation stability play here.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad window.
Just get the ground. Yeah, with the OB behind the basket, it was a little farther than I wanted to be.
Fredy still needs to hit a gap, does it nicely, looking for the disc to hook up and get that finish. It ends up about circle's edge, a little closer than you. So you guys got the birdie putts.
Yeah.
Kevin and I laying up for the par.
Yep. Kev's playing for par. OB behind the basket.
On days like this, a tap-in's nice, though. I've
all
got
one.
this tree to work around, and I don't really work around it at all. So
It's a mass. Look at that thing.
I love that
Lumps
tree.
everywhere.
Lumps everywhere.
There's, no shortage of beautiful trees here.
About 45.
I'm not even. This is a fake run here.
Yeah.
Not really, but I just hadn't dialed in the putt yet, and
Right to
OB
left hit.
wind. I mean, you can see everything is just blowing everywhere.
Fredy leaning down to grab his disc. Putt looked great.
Yeah.
Thought it was in as
I
well.
know his putt really is effective at this elevation.
Even these
So-
15, 18 footers feel a little tricky in this breeze.
You're not kidding. Gotta stay focused.
So it looks like it'll be all pars for this group, which is pretty similar to what the entire field did. Hole played .61 over par, and there were 0 birdies, which is crazy.
I mean,
Kev's thrown rollers in the past on this hole and gotten 500 feet down the fairway with easy upshots.
yeah. I didn't get to the course early, so I wasn't familiar with how it was playing for other cards, but we could see out of the window while we were eating breakfast. It was getting windy.
Definitely was. This is a righty forehand shot if you've got it, sliding just under this tree as the drone's doing. Control that ground play, and it's a birdie hole right there, 293 if you've got the forehand. The backhand was tricky to
You
hit.
keep saying if you have the forehand. I don't think there's a prayer for a backhand play here. You're going to have to be an MI5 agent to get a backhand to this basket today.
Kevin going with an X1, which at 6,000 feet is basically an X0. It's a disc.
Absolutely. I think it was just a misfire. He can get that thing to the basket.
He definitely could. I'm going with a D3 for reference. This one's got some stability to it, though. It is a headwind.
I think it was a headwind. Yeah. You played this great, and that tree is your best friend.
Really nice.
You get on the other side of that thing, and there's nothing.
It would have been terrible to be on the other side.
But
Indeed.
that was a great play. You got a great ground play.
Your forehand's looking good these days. Trying to follow that line with a what?
That's a destroyer. I'm just thinking, you said the headwind was there. You said D3. I'm stabling up. Just a little too much height, I think.
It was perfect other than the height. That was it. Yeah.
Stay low, and a seasoned forehand player is going to grab that ground play that you need.
Fredy gets a little cruise out of it, but that was just a rung low at the end of the day. He circles edge again.
Yeah, he knows what to do there, but just a misfire.
Kev PA3 upshot. He's great with that blue PA3.
Absolutely. Get the par. Get out of there. It's early.
Oh, that's a lot of chains.
I'm hungry at this point.
You can tell.
And get a little soft bid there and not get too carried away.
Trying to get you something to eat. Fredy, both those putts look really good. The past two holes, both of them a little low.
Yeah, he reaches for that, and those are both dropping.
We're all from sea level. 6,000 feet, putting is one of the things that's hardest to adjust to. The putt just drops out of the sky.
Everybody gets down here. This is a great community. Everybody gets together. We're already having fun. Players meeting was the previous evening, and we're still figuring out how the Frisbees are flying down here. It's not just a business trip.
No, I'm far from it. But here we are, par 4, hole 3.
Yeah.
Looking for the disc to move left off of the tee. Trying to get a skip, so full speed driver works great for a righty backhand.
Nothing changed from last year.
Nope.
get you a good stock, straight shot, and move left at the end.
Yeah. All right, so this is also a headwind, I believe. And I'm going with that same D3. It came out super early. And
Still
almost missed the Mando.
Yeah.
That was a Mando right there.
A par play. This is one of those holes like you got to get off the tee, otherwise you're scrapping for the par. This is the low ceiling. This is the one that is a very notable low ceiling. You've got to penetrate that gap and then just fade at the end.
It looked like Kev hit his disc exactly how he wanted. It was just a little more stable than he gave it credit for or thought it was going to be. Again, adjusting as we speak. This looks pure, though. There's only one tree to miss.
Yeah, I didn't think the wind was going to infect it too much, and
if you get kicked off right, it's almost no chance at birdie. You got to do something like this.
Look how smooth Fredy is.
So clean.
Throws the hips. Great timing. He's not trying to overpower the frisbee, and he is exactly where he wants to be. Right in the middle.
Couldn't drop it. Couldn't drop it in a better spot.
Absolutely.
So I'm actually really close to out of bounds as well, which is a new out of bounds, I believe. But
yeah,
that would have been unfortunate.
I heard you asking.
So now I'm
where
like
the OB
patent
was.
pending F7 roller.
This was wild. The wind got a hold of that thing. And
it did. It actually hit somebody.
Tree.
There was only like...
You know what? I saw that, actually. It was, I think, it was some spectators following another card. It wasn't too aggressive, but...
No, I was going pretty slow at that point.
Kev trying to go up and over. I do think he hit something.
It's not a bad play from where he's at, guaranteeing himself a par.
Right.
Look at you, busting out all these forehands. Oh,
I know, and that's,
You got twizzled.
you talking about it is just a sign of why that happened, because I don't frequent the forehand. It just seemed like the shot at the time there. Fredy was really the only one lined up for the birdie, so we were all scrapping. I was trying to make something out of nothing.
Got a little more turn out of that one. And I ended up with like a pretty good little window over here. I know you guys couldn't probably see it, but
yeah,
not great to leave myself another like 15, 18 footer in the wind.
I mean, it's fortunate after being out of position off the tee and
look at you, ability to stretch out,
trying to play a skip. This particular part of the course, and it shows by some of the damage that happened a few weeks prior. This particular part of the course, you could see a lot of trees that had been freshly cut by chainsaws because they had to do some cleaning after some, I don't know exactly if it was a windstorm or what was going on, but
a bunch of rain and then a lot of wind.
Yeah, and this particular part of the course really showed that the winds really come through here more.
So Kev, you and I all have these little testers.
Just cleaning up these first 3 holes, nothing too exciting. We're all happy to be here, but
Yep.
we're trying to dial in the first event of the year.
Yeah.
It's an A tier this year.
First A tier ever in Mexico.
It's nothing new for us. We've played several A tiers over the years, but this is a huge event for the Mexican contingency. Like, everyone is excited, and I don't know.
It's their World Series at this point.
Yeah,
It's the biggest event of the year.
Absolutely.
And in the future, it may be known as the Mexican Disc Golf Championships. Headed into the 4th, playing back towards the first tee. It's a right to left moving shot. Again, this is one of the areas that you mentioned had some trees damaged. I think he actually damaged the basket on this hole.
Yep, I think a few. I can't believe they got it cleaned up so quickly, but yeah, it's wide open around the pin, and the gap is pretty preserved, I feel like. But there were a couple of guardian trees that really got affected.
I knew I was going to clip that tree the second I threw that disc, and it circles edge.
I think you gotta play a little higher, especially with the work area that the tree removal and things. The ground is so soft, you're not gonna get the skip.
Kev got a little kiss right there.
He landed pin high. I mean,
That was great.
they added some new OB up near the basket.
Yeah, it's
Just to tighten things up.
313, but we're all going fairway driver here.
Mm-hmm.
You used to get really good skips here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You hit the same branch Kev hit.
Trying to play high, knowing that the ground play might not be there.
Yeah, definitely isn't there this year. Fredy going to show us. Is it kind of just dies out right there?
Yeah.
Sandy.
Yeah, I mean.
He'll have a putt. You get a long one. Last thing you want to do is leave yourself a comebacker in this breeze, though.
I know I'm going, what is this, hole 4, and I'm like, all right, no birdies yet. Well, maybe I give this a look.
It kind of felt like one of those days.
Freddie's all over the cage already.
Yep.
It's just a matter of time.
Yep. I'm looking at a headwind. It's definitely breezy.
Look how open this area is.
Yeah.
I don't know if you purposefully threw the wobble on that disc, but I think that is why it went in.
It like dropped at the very end.
It just dropped. It caught a different angle. It was a great putt.
Not mad about it. Fredy walks up in 0 time, bangs that one down.
Yes.
Unhappy about 3 pan hits for birdie in the first 4.
But his delivery is so flat and so direct. It's really effective in this wind.
That's what we call Texas delivery, brother. Kev getting under par.
Yep. Yeah. You're 2 for 4, 50% here. You're getting going. I'm just slow rolling.
I know some fugitives in the past have been kind of a hyzer flip disc. This is going to be a good, ideal disc for flex throwers like myself, or just hyzer shots that you want to go and carry pretty far left. Yeah, so I'm just throwing them a little bit flat, a little bit of turn. They're just going out and then having like right at 300, 350, they're just starting to fade back out. So it's got a nice consistent finish for sure. Good grip, good profile. Supreme Fugitive is going to make the bag for me.
Par 4, hole 5 now. Little gap off the tee.
Oh, yeah.
Needing to move it left to right. There's new Mando on this hole that you can see the white sign on the right side of your screen. Need to go left of that. And then we actually have an extended green on this hole, Paul.
Absolutely. I mean, this is definitely one of the tightest gaps off of the tee and a very specific landing zone.
Basket used to be here, so you're about 50, 60 feet further than previous, which I think is a great change. All the changes that they made, Beto and Roger and the whole crew here were great.
I'm going to agree with you.
Little pulled, getting lucky, staying lucky.
Very fortunate. It's a scrapper route from where you're at, but still great forward progress.
Kev nukes this thing. Little too straight and gets a bad kick. He threw a better shot than I.
Definitely a better line. It's scrappy there. I mean, it's a very specific shot. Backhand, forehand, whatever.
I don't want to do this ever.
Well, you know what? After thinking about it and watching it right now, I don't think you have to get as aggressive off the tee. You just need to get to a specific spot and then attack.
Yeah. Landing on the path is great.
The way that the trees are planted, there's an intended route, and you can scrap once you get out of position, but Rohair knew what he was doing here, and this is just such a specific spot you need to get to, and
yeah, Freddie's just
not on it.
No, none of us.
No, but you know what they say: 90% air. Just pick a hole and.
That was headed the right direction.
Absolutely.
and a long jump putt range. You're also very similar look.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't think we're looking to like throw back to the fairway. We're like, there's a spot I can get to there, and if it gets any farther, then neat.
Yeah. And I'm a little closer, a little lefter. And I'm also going that way.
Yes.
And I'm also a little wide. And I'm lucky I'm not in a spot with 2 meters. Yeah. Mexico does not play the 2 meter rule.
Thankfully, there's some thickies out here. They just grab them up.
Fredy, another circles edger. This one will be for his par.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all kind of chopping our way here. Still antsy for a birdie. Nobody's really caught a flow yet.
Far from it. We're doing a little waiting on the tee box. It's like it's a blustery day out here. And I thought that one was
tenacity. Yeah, yeah. Good bid. Good pace.
good. Good word. Look at the fire in that guy's eyes.
And it's hole 5. Let's get it going.
Bang.
That felt
On the line.
maybe better than any putt of 2023.
24.
I know. No, I'm saying that was.
You didn't feel
this is
that
2024.
good one time
I mean,
last year? That was better than the whole year.
this elevation plays games. So I got
No
I
doubt.
got that one up.
That was pure extension.
Yeah, and it was for bird. Felt good.
Fredy taking a bogey.
All right. Some gnarly pin placements. I know, maybe the viewer can't tell, but if you're on the other side of that tree and on several other holes, you're not, maybe just one little mistake and you're on the other side of that tree, you have no putt.
You got nada. There was a little change to the way that the course flowed. So this is actually Tall Paul's ace hole.
Yes, I was enjoying the change. I think it just created a better flow, and why not get to this beautiful little.
You aced this thing last year to go back to perfect for the round.
Yeah.
I think it's hole 8, previously hole 8.
I know, and look at us right now. We're 2 down after 6.
It's a different day, different year.
Different day for sure.
But that line looks familiar.
I
Are you
could
kidding
not
me?
believe it. Nothing had felt that good coming out of my hand since we've landed. That putter shot, I knew it was understable, and it came out so good. I actually thought it might go in, and then that happened, and I was like, wow,
Tap and bird.
that would have been just a story.
Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. To ace it back-to-back
Yeah, you
years.
can't do it like that.
I said something right before you threw it, too. It was like, oh, it's so bad. What was that? Oh, my
Maybe
God.
I should have said something to you before you threw.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. Just a misfire. It happens.
Knocking some rust off.
Yep.
Kev, PA3. He's got this one pretty dialed, although that's not the intended route.
I think
Oh.
Kev was thinking,
Okay.
I need some trees.
Yeah. Well, it's a birdie.
Definitely a birdie op. He might have been closer than me after I hit the basket.
Freddie's throwing this Ranger, this Texas Ranger from Lone Star, really good. He
Look at
just
that.
smooths it out of his
I
hand. I thought
know.
this had a chance too, really.
It did. It 100% did.
And it got pretty far.
It had the right height. I think they could just make the PDGA emblem off of Freddie's throw. He's just so smooth. He's got the follow through.
Yeah. That's a
Luke just-
downwind, lot of ground play right there. So both Freddie and I just
Yeah.
inside the circle.
Hard
Headwind
win.
putts right here.
Only a matter of time for Freddie.
No doubt. And it was right after his bogey. Bounces back nicely.
Yes.
It did touch a chain. That was not a complete airball.
Just
one chain.
I mean, I can see the trees there. It's
And that was
blustery.
about half of them, but not enough.
Sorry. Look at that shirt.
It's definitely windy right
Rip
now.
off.
Yeah, it chose to start about when I started putting.
Look at that. I had a putt before Kev, and I hit the basket. He hit a tree.
It's true. Yours came back so far; it was just spinning on the ground. I'm taking
next year.
Dub, and just like that, I'm behind, giving up 9 to the card. This was a par 4 last year, turned to a par 3 this year, and I think it was a great change.
A great adjustment. I mean, this is a very pro level par 3, low ceiling.
Yep.
Gotta drive it. Not a gimme.
No, pro level, and you're. What do you have
First on the box. I'm throwing a Thunderbird. It's not the most overstable Thunderbird in the States, but here I'm thinking I'm throwing into a headwind. I'm like, get this thing flat.
Yeah, you flipped it up nice. It never really got to flat, but flipped up the whole way. And look at this.
It took me so long to see how close it was. Once we got up there.
I know, same. I kept on looking for it.
Yeah, I thought I got behind the tree or something. Kev a little early.
Bit of a misfire.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely one of the more challenging par 3s here. Just fair. Hit the line.
Fredy looks good as well. This one coming in hot with some hyzer, though.
Mm-hmm. But just keeps pushing forward.
Skips him pretty far away, and he's got a low ceiling from there.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a tough bid.
Yeah.
And I let this one turn up.
Mm-hmm.
You guys did well to keep it on hyzer. That's exactly
I know. I
what the
thought
shot
you had a
called.
good release, but that headwind just
It
got
turned
it
my
to
disc
flat
up,
and
yeah.
started to move it to the right, and made that right side up.
Kev's got a little upshot going distortion from 240, maybe 230, and he leaves it 40 feet, which is tricky in this wind, man.
Definitely. There's still some thick grass there, so you're not going to get the ground play everywhere.
I'm not going to be short on this.
Gosh, you just... some very strong bids.
They'll continue. I made sure when I woke up, that was my...
I know Kev is super
Credo.
focused, but those glasses just make him look like tenfold focused. He's just locked in.
in the zone.
Yep. Just a bit of a drop at the end and
Like this guy.
strong bid.
Look at that shirt.
I want to see the other camera angle. I know exactly what he's contending with. There's a
man.
huge limb right there. He can go over or under. And yeah, just tough. Even tougher with the wind.
You have to wait until we're all done to throw your second shot.
I couldn't believe it.
That's how close you were.
I couldn't see my disc. I started to panic.
Yeah.
We had a nice crowd following us.
Yeah,
Very
locals
supportive.
loving that line.
Yeah.
Guaranteed when they put that in, they were like, whoa. This one's tricky. This one, however, is one you want to get.
Oh my gosh, you have to have it. Yeah. They give you a little snack right here.
Take that
Yeah,
snack.
for the taking.
Please. Snack away.
A little OB behind it, but I mean, it's so short. So if you're juicing something, you're...
Same putter you hit metal with a second ago?
Yeah, it's the flippiest one in my bag. I'm thinking if I can just get it at the gap that I'm intending to hit, it'll stand up, go straight. And
Nice
I hit a
little-
tree and get some,
Yeah. Will help.
Yeah.
So this is, I believe it's the mid-range. This is the Ranger again, which is just proving how finessey he can be.
super smooth. Yeah.
So smooth. There's OB long, so he knows he's got to tone it down a bit. I'm going A5. This one's a little straighter.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it'll continue.
You gave it some height too, and I'm like, all right, that might have a
Dude.
chance. This is definitely...
I thought for a second.
Yeah.
And then it just stabled up and raised. No bueno.
No bueno.
Blue putter.
Yeah.
Nice commitment.
That's his
Playing straight is totally fine.
100%.
Can't fall in love with the hyzer. I got a straddle out Anheuser bid. I can't turn anything in Mexico over, so why would I think my putt would turn over?
I know. The putting it's a challenge.
It can be. We're not here for long enough to really dial it in.
No. I feel like we've gotten into the park here a little bit. This
speaking
wasn't even a wind issue, honestly. That's what I was trying to say. We've gotten into the park here. It's a little more foliage. It's not as windy. That was just a bad putt.
It's different.
Fredy cleaning up
when
his
you're
birdie.
6'6" or whatever 6. You've really just if you put it straight, it's too high.
There we go. Oh. All right, we're cleaning up some pars. We hit some trees, so we might have deserved it.
Definitely.
Those guys threw some very nice shots and got rewarded with the bird.
Headed to hole 9, last hole of this front 9, and a tricky one at that. There's the OG gap, the intended gap here, which you kind of got to get a little bit lucky to go through that right there. I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
But it's also blind.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a disc selection and a well thrown shot. I mean, that's every disc golf shot, but yeah, this one, it's specific.
And we got Fredy opting for the left gap.
No, he said something to me about it. I thought he might forehand it, but he opts for a flippy mid range.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
That looks so good.
Yep. A lot of trees though. You can
For
see
sure.
It's just rows and rows.
Kevin trying to go down that gap, but works out really.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Not going to be a close birdie putt, but
force the overstable. Just try and get an edge. Get closer.
yeah, it's a really stable FX2 he's throwing. You're going stable T-bird?
Yeah, throwing a T-bird, a fairway. Probably could have thrown something a little.
We didn't talk about this line because it doesn't exist.
Those trees were planted in a row formation, and I just
Once
hit
you
the other
popped
row.
into the other row, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go down this left gap, and I get distracted. I'm talking to myself. Can't let myself get distracted.
Yeah, that was a demanding gap. It was right there. It was enticing, but
everybody was still laughing about your line, and I was just let the laughter get to me.
Everyone was excited, and everyone.
Everybody who plays this hole knows that there's no way a disc can do what your disc just did. Strong bid from Fredy.
Right.
Kev,
yeah,
I'm guessing a strong bid as well. This is jump putt Jones range. Wasn't short.
Nope. Nice fluffy grass there. It's not really going anywhere.
Yeah. It'll need his full attention on the way back, and you've got this little branch in your way as well.
I mean, honestly, there was a low ceiling. I'm spreading them legs, trying to get as low as possible. It was a very doable putt, and somehow I got it high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, we're just cleaning up.
More pars.
I know.
It's kind of unfortunate.
We were quiet.
It was quiet.
We weren't an energetic group.
Were we not?
There was some banter, but it wasn't,
It's the first round of the year,
It felt like, everybody was like.
It definitely felt weird. I'm not going to lie. It was like, we're doing this.
Birdies.
This is how we're going to throw Frisbees and hit all of our putts. We're not going to give each other anything.
This is an A tier.
Yeah.
And we're here.
Yeah.
To win this.
To compete. Gorgeous flowers all over the course. And the only clean scorecard of the day. Well, not of the day, but here. Paul Oman. You got a little 3-stack, too.
I know. That felt good. Got something
little
going.
Turkey
Finally.
sandwich.
I didn't know you guys were bogeying like that. Ew.
Yeah, I had the dub. I just erased all those fun strokes.
That's unfortunate. I mean, beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Don't sweat it.
Chilling. Big chilling. And you are chilling up top along with Nicholas Culver, originally from Iowa, lives up in Canada now.
Yeah.
Good player, 1,000+ player.
Yes.
We also got Daniel.
I'd like to
Good as
think.
well.
I'd like to think what we might be responsible for him coming down here and enjoying some disc golf.
I've heard from a few people that GK Pro coverage is the reason that they're down here experiencing these amazing temperatures and beautiful times.
It seemed like everyone that came last year brought a friend.
Well, you bring a friend and we'll see you on that back nine.
Alrighty.